Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing here on Conscious Business Zone with my friend AJ Parr. Hi, AJ.
Hi, Kathy. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so excited. I want everyone to know about your beautiful work that you do, working as a near-death experiencer podcaster, and you've done over 100 different interviews with people all over the world, and that you have a wonderful publishing company in Colombia. So, AJ, tell us a little bit about how you got started in your fascination with near-death experiencers.
Well, I actually had an experience myself in
Oh,
1991. I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see my hands. I got scared, and I felt in that darkness a presence. I was right. I heard a voice saying, "Surrender, all is one." When I heard that, my chest began to expand. I felt this empty feeling growing and growing within that darkness. And it grew so large that all of a sudden I appeared like in the middle of a star or a sun. It was light everywhere. I could see up and down, to right, to the left, in all directions there was light. But in the middle, there was only light. My body wasn't there. I was light. And I had no thoughts. I could feel that I was endless. I was everything. I felt oneness. I felt immense bliss, immense joy, immense love. But most of all, I felt that I was one with everything, with no thoughts, no memory of ever being human. When I came back, I took a big gasp. Apparently, I stopped breathing during the night. I had suffered from asthma and also sleep dyspnea, dyspnea, and I took a big breath, and I remembered what had just happened, and I couldn't believe it. So I got up from my bed. I touched the nearest wall, and I could feel my hand pressing against the wall, but I could feel that I was the wall pressing back. It was like double consciousness. I could feel that I was everything that surrounded me, and this lasted for 1 or 2 days. And the second night, I was really confused. I didn't know what had really happened. I had never heard of near-death experiences. I thought it was, I thought I was going crazy or something. So I asked God for help, and I felt the second night I felt a presence, and I got this download. I heard more than a download. I heard this brief poem that explained to me what had happened. It said, "In the beginning was the One, but the One was alone and he wanted to play. So he divided himself into two, gave number two amnesia, and thus the game began." After that, I had the sensation that I understood that we are all one, that we are all God, that that's the creation story. It was also the explanation of all the secret teachings of all religions. I had already studied different Buddhism, Hinduism. I had been a Freemason. I was into Hermetic teachings and esoteric teachings. So I understood what all religions say. There is a real reality, which is oneness. Then there is an illusory reality, which some people call a dream, which is this dual world. And the basic teaching of all these ancient spiritual paths is to recognize these two realities: the real reality, which is oneness, and the illusory dual reality, which is this 3D world in which we live in. After that, I spent 30 years studying different religions. I joined many religions, and 4 years ago, I met through my publishing company. I was asked to translate a book by a near-death experiencer. Her name is Tessa Romero, and she had been 24 minutes on the other side. That's the name of her book. She was declared clinically dead. When I told her about my experiencing the darkness, she said, yeah, that's what we call the void. When I told her I merged with the light, she said, yes, I also merged with the light. And when I told her I could see up and down, to the right, to the left, she said, that's what we call 360-degree vision. So after that, I decided to start interviewing people, near-death experiencers. And at first I thought that you had to have clinical death in order to have a near-death experience. So I said, well, I didn't really die. I was not declared clinically dead, but the more I researched, the more I found cases of people who didn't experience clinical death yet had a near-death experience, including Evan Alexander, Nancy Evans Bush, and many others who had nearly died or who had been in this critical situation. Some of them even stopped breathing during the night. Then I realized what I had was a near-death experience. I took the Grayson test, the Grayson scale, and also talked with different researchers. And my conclusion is that it was a near-death experience, although it did not last long enough to experience other realms or to have a very long story. So that's basically it, Kathy. That's how I got started. I was trying to figure out what happened.
So I have a similar story where I had a spiritually transformative experience 22 years ago, and but I had many before it. I just had a big one 22 years ago, and that's what got me so interested in near-death experiencers, because once you've experienced that void, I didn't have words for anything. I just,
Yeah.
the experience. In fact, I have to say, I'm still integrating it. I think that every time I listen to these people and I can feel their heart, I get another layer of understanding. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. I think that this experience is what many people call ineffable. It is beyond words. And this is something that was known over 100 years ago, when in the book "The Varieties of Religious Experiences," that was one of the key factors of a spiritual experience or a mystical experience, the ineffability. And Raymond Moody also mentioned it in his book "Life After Life."
Yes, yes. Well, you both of us have had a fascination with this for years, and a delight with the people that can seem to express the ineffable. Because what's fascinating is that some people have a gift of explaining and sharing the field of that love that is overwhelming. I mean, when I've been working on this project that you and I are working on right now, that we'll tell everyone about, I'm tearing up some of the time. I mean, you can just, these people that came back from the other side with a desire to be of service to humanity at this time, they're just beautiful. They're just remarkably beautiful.
And they came back with, in the case of the people that we're including in this event, they came back with a gift. Some of them came back with a healing gift, but others developed it, driven by this intense desire of helping others. And this is something that has been known from ancient times. There are across cultures people who have these gifts of healing, and NDErs are no exception. This was pointed out, although Raymond Moody never mentioned it in his book Life After Life. In Life at Death, which was Kenneth Ring's first book, written only 5 years after Raymond Moody, he did mention that NDErs come back with these paranormal gifts, including healing. And although there haven't been that many studies, this is something that is truly a fact, an accepted fact. The first studies were informal. One of the first researchers to define these gifts was Margaret Gray. She had a near-death experience. She was the founder of uh, the United Kingdom branch of IANDS. And Kenneth Ring was one of the original founders of IANDS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies. So after he published his book, Margaret Gray founded the United Kingdom IANDS, and she differentiated two types of healing: spiritual healing and psychic healing. And we can talk more about that if you want.
I love it. Well, I love the whole opportunity for people to serve in a way that serves them as well, because it's a mutual experience, I would say. And so many people, heal thyself isn't that easy. So these people that are remarkable, in most cases they've had difficulties for the rest of their lives after a near-death experience. Their body has been damaged, and even if they were 12 years old, the repair, it flares up every once in a while. And but what I love is that the audience doesn't have to go through a near-death experience or a spiritually transformative experience that is difficult to integrate into your life. It may take years, like me, to fully integrate it. But what happens is these healers that use their gifts over and over again, it's a win for everybody.
Yes, it is. We're gonna, among the people that we invited to this online healing workshop that we're about to launch, is Dr. Lawrence Brock, and he came back with healing hands. That's one of the most impactful cases. Other people have become healers, like Vinnie Tallman, Jacob Cooper, who had his near-death experience when he was 3 years old. Kylene Callahan, like you said, is still suffering from her accident. She fell from a horse. She had a serious injury, brain injury, and she now is dedicated to healing. And all these people who we are invited are all dedicated to healing.
Right. So, and we're so excited. In fact, let's just go ahead and talk about it. We are launching a wonderful healing workshop coming up, and it's called Awakening Beyond Life. It starts November 22nd and 23rd, and it's lessons of love, light, and healing. And we are so excited to share this information at this changing time where so many people are disoriented with the global consciousness, if you want to call it that, of what's going on in our world today. It's so full of craziness that for us to get grounded and to be positive influencers in our communities, in our families, in our lives, we need these healing experts to help us have tools in a toolkit to help us navigate these changing times. Do you agree, AJ?
Yeah, I think we're going through a big universal or worldwide shift. And I think that near-death experiencers and also spiritually transformative experiencers are playing a big part in this, uh, especially the near-death experiencers, because lately, thanks to the resuscitation techniques and the advance of medicine, uh, more people are coming back from death. They're coming back with stories. They're coming back with after effects, with abilities. And one of the main characteristics is that they all want to help others, especially those who had a life review. They understand that you are not judged by what you do, you are judged by how you treat others. So
Right.
this is something amazing.
Well, the other part I'd love to share is that I think that all of this is a road back to self-love, because if you don't love yourself and gift yourself these sessions, you're not capable of loving others in the same way. And self-love isn't selfish. I mean, as a woman, I know that, and a mother, there was always, take care of everyone else. And that if you can't take care of yourself first, you don't have a full battery to take care of everyone else. So we put together these beautiful experts that each one of them will scroll down the website so you can see what each one of them is talking about. And each one of them has gifted a healing session within their interview as a gift to you, the audience, for free to watch. So I'm going to scroll down. Did you want to say anything else here before I start scrolling down?
Well, I just wanted to add that some of them even offered free gifts, and that it's going to be really, really healing and really interesting.
Yeah. So what you're going to learn, if you can join us, and again, if you can't join us on November 22nd or 23rd, the recordings are going to be available for you to watch until December 6th. And then if you can't watch it even by then, you may want to consider buying the recordings for only $22, which is the lowest I've ever done anything for. But AJ wants to make sure that people in every country in the world can afford to get the benefit for this. So what I wanted to do is read what this says, since you probably can't read it. But what you can learn is how NDEs unlock healing abilities. And this will help you understand the profound connection between NDEs and the emergence of spiritual healing gifts. And when these people explain it, if you're sensitive, you won't have to have an NDE to get the gist of it. The next thing is practical techniques for physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. And you'll immediately gain hands-on tools and methods used by these healers. They've gifted remarkable sessions. Energetic transmission and divine connection. Tap into universal life force energy, prayer, and touch to facilitate deep healing. And how expanded awareness transforms suffering. Trauma opens pathways to ease physical pain, emotional wounds, and spiritual disconnection. So, AJ, can you read that, or is it too small for you?
Well, basically, I want to go over it fast so we can get into what each speaker is going to say. But
okay,
this is basically to restore your energy and to learn more about yourself, to be the master of your fate, and also learn some quantum healing techniques. Not only quantum healing techniques, but these are very spiritual and psychic techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can continue. You can fill out your registration form if you go to the website, and briefly we can go over each of the keynote speakers. So we'll start out with Dr. Lawrence Brock. He had a car accident. He died. He is from Jewish origin, but he experienced the light and he saw a light being full of love, which he later recognized as Jesus. And became a healer. He developed healing hands. He's going to talk about his story, and he's also going to do a group meditation, a healing meditation that is really effective.
So the next person is Tamara Ovied, and she's going to be talking about healing beyond belief. And Tamara is the founder of Sacred Activations, a subconscious meta programming modality that I love. And she's been very generous in sharing a healing session while we were talking. She's a walk-in also, so you'll have to hear about that. But there is a free gift on her page when you go to experience the interview.
Right. Next online is Jacob Cooper. He had a near-death experience when he was 3 years old. He suffocated. He went into the light, and he had a life review, amazingly. But in his life review, he remembered his past lives. And I'm going to leave it there because I want you to watch his presentation. But he became a healer. He became a hypnotherapist, and he specializes in past life regressions. That's going to be amazing.
Wonderful. And next up is Geraldine Orozco. And Geraldine is an amazing healer. She is an epigenetic psychotherapist and a Qigong instructor, a medical pranic healer. She's amazing. And she's going to share about the key to humanity's infinite potential. And if you've ever experienced Geraldine before, for those people that really need information and science and quantum physics information to understand and integrate the information, you'll find her presentation is very, very good.
Next, we have Reverend Bill McDonald. He'll be talking about self-healing through self-love. And he had his near-death experience at age 8. And during his experience, he was shown the next 50 years of his life. He saw the Vietnam War before it happened. He saw the killing of President Kennedy. He saw many events, but he also saw himself as a healer. He actually had another near-death experience in which he was given the choice to come back and help others or stay there, and he chose to come back. And he's traveled the world. He recently came back from London, and he's been all over Europe, Asia, and the American continent. So he focuses on self-healing through self-love.
Perfect, which is what I brought up earlier. It's really the key. So the next day, so that was all on Saturday, and this is starting Sunday morning, and all of these time slots are Eastern time. So just to be aware, if you're in Pacific time zone or another time zone, these will be available starting at these times. And this is Ellen Weir, and Ellen Weir had a NDE from a horseback riding accident at 12 years old. And she is an amazing sound healer and a bright light. She wrote a book called Waking Up in Heaven, Living with Purpose Through Afterlife Wisdom. And that is what she does. Her talks about becoming through the breaking, because she learned how to heal others as well as herself through sound therapy. She's a board certified music therapist and a transpersonal guide and an intuitive channel. Beautiful woman, and you will love meeting her.
Next, we have Kylene Callahan, and she also had a horseback accident, and she met what she had known as her invisible friend when she was a kid. And she turned out it was Archangel Michael. So during this experience, she learned that this reality is a dream, and that the best way to perceive this is by gaining lucidity within the dream. You have to stay in the dream in order to develop this lucidity. And she is also a lucid dreamer and a healer. So that's going to be very interesting.
Yes, and as we said, every single one of these beautiful presenters are sharing some of their healing knowledge, the things that they thought would help us the most during these changing times. So it's all free for you to use and put in your toolkit to make your life so much better. And next up is Vinnie Tolman. I love Vinnie. I love giving him a big hug when I see him. At the age of 25, Vinnie Tolman was really an avid athlete and a weightlifter. And he and his buddy took this, he thought it was a regular dose of energy and fortification vitamins. And it ended up being a lethal dose of that. And he died. And he was actually he was dead for a while, over an hour, I think. And he was put in a body bag. And through angelic intervention, he was resuscitated. And then he was in a coma for three days. And during those 3 days, he saw so much that he's been able to bring back to us. It's fascinating. And he does a beautiful healing modality because that's what he's done with the knowledge that he received on the other side. So he'll be sharing that beautiful modality with us.
Yes, we have Crystal Faith. She had a near death experience in the year 2000, and she was dead for 53 minutes. She was giving birth to her child, and while she was there, she had an amazing experience that she's going to talk about. But after she came back with that desire to serve others, to help others, and she became a hypnotherapist, and she is an intuitive reader and a spiritual life coach, and she's going to share all her lessons learned on the other side.
And last but not least, we're going to have, I think, AJ do this session. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Well, yeah, we're probably going to do it together. That's what I want. But we're going to talk about how this healing has been studied by near-death researchers, and how it has not been studied enough, and also some statistics. And I'm also going to talk about the importance of sharing. There have been studies that prove that part of the integration depends on sharing your experience. A lot of people go 20, 30 years without sharing it, and writing to heal is one of these techniques that I've developed.
Perfect. And as we said, if you cannot come November 22nd or 23rd, the recordings of these beautiful interviews will be available for free until December 6th. And then after that, you will be able to purchase them if you want. And I would recommend that because the healing modalities alone are worth so much more than that. And there's going to be extra products and services that are available. There'll be I know I'm going to be putting an ebook and some meditations in there. Fran Bailey, who's a near-death experiencer, has recorded a meditation for us to add to that as well. So we want this to be a wonderful gift that you give yourself during this season. November in the US is Thanksgiving. I think I think around the world, it may be also a time after harvest, and gratitude's a big theme. Gratitude and healing is a big theme for our time right now. And we just got the hit that this would be the perfect time to bring these beautiful beings together for you.
Yeah, the wonderful thing about this is that these healing sessions, you do not have to be there live. They can be online, but you can also watch the recording and you will feel the same effect. And also, there's a part where they'll talk about their experiences, but these exercises are really worth it. It's much cheaper than paying for one session costs more than $22. So that's
Yeah.
why I insisted in making it cheap. So the more people we get, the better.
Yeah. Well, we have done. I've done other summits like this, and some of them we've never charged. And it is a gift to us to help us keep this going, to buy the recordings, but it's not necessary. We're also in service to God and service to this changing time, and want especially the sensitives, which I believe more and more people, as these energies from the central sun and the sun are being activated, that more and more people that are sensitive are going to be activated. And we want you to be empowered to pick how you want to navigate your life, rather than being bombarded by all this negative that's in the global consciousness.
Right. This is a free gift we're giving to anyone who wants to join us. It's completely free to watch during the first week, and you can watch it once, twice, as many times as you feel like it. And only those who want to keep it or want to have it, permanently, they can pay, but it's not a requirement. Basically, we're doing this as a free service for humanity.
Yes, yes. And all of us are getting downloads and nudges to do things. So we have to tell you that each one of these people we contacted jumped on the opportunity to give this to you. That we really want to show our gratitude to the participants in this summit, because they are the real gift. As you experience it, you'll understand why I say that. That their courage in showing up every day as a beacon of light is a great way for us to model how we can be in the world.
So we're going to have Geraldine Orozco, Reverend Bill McDonald, Crystal Faith, Beanie Tolman, Jacob Cooper, Ellen Wire, Dr. Lawrence Brock, Kayleen Callahan, and Tamra
Ovia.
Ovia.
Yep. And the thing that you'll find again is that this heart energy is really going to serve you, because this is a time for us to go in and sort of silence the craziness and walk from and experience life from our hearts, rather than from the fear that's readily available for if you want to watch it, right?
Yeah, so starting November 22nd and 23rd, these presentations will be online. So
Yes.
you don't have to watch them as soon as they are posted. If you want to, you can, but you can watch them during the night or the following day. So it's really at your convenience.
Yes. And the website again is awakeningbeyondlife.com. And once you sign up, you'll get emails, and you'll be reminded of the schedule and your access to it. So just thank you so much for listening. If you know of anyone that would benefit from this, family, friends, you'll see this is a gift from the heart from AJ and I, and from all these beautiful healers that really wants to be received. So thank you all. And anything else, AJ?
No, thanks a lot for listening. I hope to see you there.
Yes, thank you. And please share this.